Everyone, Kit Nagy here for Nagy on Sports, bringing you a keys to the game video for Week 3, where we have the Steelers coming to First Energy Stadium to play the Browns. Obviously, a short week here on the Thursday Night Football primetime, and got to get that ugly taste out of our mouths from the Jets game that did not at all go the way we expected. Kind of finding a way to lose in spite of themselves, did the Browns. So this time, hopefully, the Browns will execute a little better, particularly on defense, and that's going to be a big part of coming away with a win in this one. So without further ado, let's get into some of the keys that I expect to be important for this game. First of all, on offense, we need to continue to build off of last week's gains. Last week, really, we kind of improved against the Jets on offense quite a bit from, as compared to the Panthers game. So you got to continue to build some of that on that momentum a little bit on offense and find ways to scheme guys open, continue to pound the rock, get those consistent drives going, and that's really my second key. Really long, sustained drives are going to be very important, particularly with the defense that's struggling for the moment. So kind of keeping them off of the field as much as possible, getting those long, sustained drives and wearing down the Steelers' defense will be vital in this one. Clock and field position management throughout the game. Again, if you have those long, sustained drives and you can manage the clock and kind of keep their offense off of the field and keep the field position battle going with positive critical field position for your offense, and then not putting your defense in an ugly position by giving the Steelers good starting field position. That'll be dictated by how we do on some of those drives, and part of that's going to be driven by the last key here, which is really staying on schedule, keeping from being in those third and long situations, getting positive yards first and second down so that your third down is much more manageable and easier to convert. We did a pretty good job of that last week and looking to do more of the same here in Week 3. On the defensive side of the ball, really, it starts with flushing Sunday. Sunday has got to go, got to leave that well behind us. And it's a short week, a quick turnaround. But you gotta flush everything that happened on Sunday, especially the ending and the way that the communication broke down yet again. And that's really key number 2. You got to communicate on defense throughout. Over communication is always better. So making sure everybody is on the same page, making sure that we know what the coverage is, making sure that guys know where they need to be and play fast. The next piece of this is going to be generating more pressure. We didn't see enough of that. This is a good opportunity to produce a lot of pressure on the defensive side of the ball with the beat up, or really not a great O-line at all for the Steelers. And yes, you've got some injuries on the defensive line with no Clowney out there and no Winovich either. So you're looking at some influx of Rochelle being brought up off the practice squad, looking for hopefully some pressure from both Thomas and from Alex Wright. And if you can get some of those things, then and take advantage of this weak offensive line for the Steelers, and Miles can get home as well and generate that pressure that he does so well, then hopefully we'll be in a lot better position, particularly if you can force this offense, the last key, force this offense for the Steelers into third and longs. They've really been struggling this season, and if you continue to make them kind of play from behind the sticks in difficult positions, that they're not well built for it, and that will really bode well for the outcome of this one. On special teams, really have to clean up the kind of the situational football on special teams. Our routine special team stuff outside of that one missed extra point was generally pretty good on the special teams from the last game, but then they allowed a fake punt to catch them off guard, and then obviously the onside kick. So the kind of the situational football was ugly in this last week, and you got to clean that up. You got to be ready for anything on special teams and prepared for the fakes, prepared for the onsides, even if it doesn't go the way you're expecting, which is kind of what it looked like happened last week. So being prepared for the ball at all times, and then leading into the next point being ball security. Got to have ball security throughout. You got to make sure you're coming up with those loose balls because it's such a vital piece of special teams. Really, just learn from Sunday. It was not a good special teams performance. from Sunday, and a big part of obviously why that game was lost was on the special teams. So obviously lots of things involved in there, but the special teams played a big role in that. Welcome in, Earl, and go Browns. Yes, I'm very hopeful. Earl's mentioning the players-only meeting that the defense in particular set up to get on the same page. I'm hopeful. Obviously, I think something was needed. Hopefully that will get them in the right place, get them all working together. I mean, they need to be of one mindset, and they need to mindset and have some leadership here, which really leads into the overall keys here. Part of it is going to be that leadership, kind of proving the resilience out there, and that stems from your leaders. Being a resilient team is based on the leadership in the building and on the field from the players. And then we really need to play fast and execute throughout as an entire team. Just being confident in your assignment, executing sound, clean, assignment-driven, technique-driven football throughout all three phases, and making sure that we are playing up to our ability, because we certainly can, and not down to the level of the opponent. And then the last key here is really just find a way to win a rivalry matchup by playing hard for all 60 minutes. No mental lapses, no letting the foot off the gas pedal, no letting teams get back into it. That's been a huge problem for the Browns of late, and that's something that really we've got to figure out how to correct if we want to be a championship caliber football team, because championship caliber football teams find ways to win in late games, not ways to lose the game in late game. So if the Browns can live up to these keys, if they can find a way to get it done, I do see the Browns as a winner in this one. I think they should win it, but they've got to execute, particularly on the defensive and special team side, and build off the offensive success that they had. But if they can, I see the Browns winning 27-20 in this one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Appreciate everyone for all the subscribes and the views. You guys have been the best. And looking forward to more Browns football, and hopefully a much better outcome in Thursday Night Football against the Steelers, and getting our season back on track. So we'll get out of here the same way we always do, saying, Go Browns!